We're Stephen and Mags, and together with our 3 kids, Louis, Neve and Oliver, we're starting out on the biggest adventure of our lives, swapping city life for an off-grid homestead. After years of dreaming about making a change, we sold our house in the UK, packed up all our belongings and made the 1,500-mile trip to southern Spain, with the hopes of creating the dream family home and a new life in the sun. Follow our story from the very beginning as we begin the journey of creating our off-grid home. Hola, buenos días a todos. So, it's been a while, but we are back. Max is in the garden already doing some work, and I've just been in to get some water with some ice cubes in to take in the garden with us. It has been a while, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, technical issues. We uploaded videos to YouTube, and for some reason they didn't surface. And then when we went back to check on the computer to put them on, they were gone off the computer as well. So we're not quite sure what's happened to the last 2 weeks worth of videos. We think we've got it sorted, so hopefully this video will make it out. And we're not filming for no reason, but we've also had family over, people staying with us, being out and about with the kids because they've been off school for a little bit as well, with bank holidays. But now it is definitely time to get this garden in order. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks since we last weeded it, and it's definitely needing it. I'll show you what it looks like now.
Like a jungle is what it looks like.
We have spent the last couple of days trying to get some of these. These are all as overgrown as the rest. So in this one we've got more tomatoes. No trellis up as yet because we just want them to take hold, but they're all growing well. Tomatoes, calendula, garlic, which is now pretty much ready to come out. Let me take you back this way. So on this one we've got a row of peppers which aren't doing that well for some reason. That's a bit muddy. Mixed in with calendula, and then when we get to the top we've got Swiss chard. They all need weeding. Whole row of lettuce, some of which we use for ourselves, others we use for the chickens, as you've seen earlier. Then we've got a row of cauliflower, which are growing massive. A row of broccoli, which is this one. Onions, and then red. We've got one, what's that called? Brussels sprout. Yeah. One Brussels sprout left. And then we've got some purple broccoli and some normal broccoli, and then cabbage and purple cabbage on the last row on that side. Let me just show you these Brussels sprouts. These Brussels sprouts have been in since October, Max, last year.
Yeah.
And it did nothing for us through the winter whatsoever. And now all of a sudden they've started growing, so we decided to leave them in. And look, we have Brussels sprouts. I don't like Brussels sprouts either.
There's only one plant.
Yeah, there's only one plant which is good. Mags and Louis like Brussels sprouts. The rest of us don't. Does Ollie like them? Yeah. Ollie likes them apparently as well, Mag says. So we've got one Brussels sprout plant. I mean, just for reference, the size of my foot compared to that broccoli plant is ridiculous. These are calendula or marigolds, which we planted to try and keep pests away. I think it just attracted the weeds instead. So this whole row has been overtaken by weeds. And then let me show you around this way. This is an espero tree, which we pruned, and now we've got loads of fruit on. And they are absolutely lovely, really sweet. The one Mag's is doing at the minute is kale. So we've got half a row of kale and then half a row of spinach, which we had yesterday with, was it feta cheese? Feta cheese, it was lovely. We've got courgettes, a row ready for something else to go in. And then we've started, I'm not going to step that way because it's a bit muddy since I just had the irrigation on. Potatoes. These are Desiree potatoes. These are potato, what are they called? Desiree? Mona Lisa potatoes, which I haven't done as well. And these are store-bought potatoes, so just ones we had left over from potatoes we bought from the shop, and they're doing really well actually. In amongst this jungle there are flowers and there is butternut squash. You can see in between the weeds some of the butternut squash leaves sticking up, and this was our Three Sisters project. I've got to say there's no peas because the peas got overtaken by the sisters' cousins, which turned up for the party.
Only 2 sisters now?
Yeah, now we've got 2 sisters because the peas just didn't live. And in between there as well we've got things like English wallflowers growing just for a bit of colour and to try and attract the pollinators. But the corn's doing well. The butternut squash is coming on. There's no peas left though, so that was a shame. But all this needs to be weeded so that it looks a bit more like this. We did that thing again where we put all the straw down, and even though it was old straw and we thought it wouldn't germinate with the amount of water that we put on it, it did, and now the garden's overtaken, so we're trying to take it out and we're going to use something else hopefully to cover the ground so it's not so bare. But just trying to get it all in order. So with that being said, we better crack on and start doing the weeding before it gets too hot. When it does get too hot, we're going to leave the garden for a bit, and we've got a trip to make to the agricola shop, the agricultural shop, to go and get some more chicken food and some more food for the ducks who are still minding. One of the videos that didn't make it out was us making some new chicken feeders and a chicken waterer. So when we get the food and we have to fill that up, I'll show you that and how it looks as well. It just means that we don't have to go out and feed the chickens every single day, and that they've always got food on hand and always got water on hand, and they're not going to run out while it's dead hot. With that, I'm getting on with it.
Well, it's nearly 2 o'clock, and in Spain everything shuts at 2 o'clock, and we need to go to the agricultural shop. So we've done quite a bit, but until we come back, we're just going to leave it for now and then pick it up in a bit when we come home.
So this is the agricultural shop that we normally come to all the time, and what we normally get for them is a bag of crushed sweet corn, which is there, and then a bag of the complete bird food, which is over there, but they love the crushed sweet corn. We used to get one which was a mix, had loads of barley seeds in and other seeds in, but they tend to pick out the bits they like and leave the bits they don't, so we're buying the stuff they do like and not the stuff they don't.
If I got a rabbit, yeah, I get a brown one, I call Peter.
So not only did we come out with food for the chickens, we also bought 6 more courgette plants, we bought 20 more lettuce plants, and all the strawberry plants that they had in the shop. So we've got more to plant out in those empty rows that we had in the garden from before. We're back. We waited out the hottest part of the afternoon, we've had a little break, something to eat, and we're back refreshed. We need to get this stuff out of the car though, the food that we bought. But in order to do that, we need to empty the wheelbarrow because it's too heavy to carry. So we're going to take some of the weeds that we've collected from the garden so far, take them over to the chickens, who I'm sure will be chuffed with the amount that's in there, and then get the food over to fill the buckets up as well. But look at the state of this wheelbarrow. It's full, and that's only 2 rows, and it's chopper. And actually we've still got another pile there to fit in. They're off the 2 rows as well. And then we've got the rest of the weeds to do over there.
So here they are. They're already at the fence because they know we've got something for them.
Oh,
They-
ladies.
They know the drill. Well, look at them following Steve along the fence line. And there they are, loving the chicken life with their scraps and weeds galore.
So we're just about to fill it up, but this is the thing that we made in the video that didn't go out. It was this chicken feeder. So you can see it's got chicken feeder holes, I don't know what they're called, in the side of it, and there's 4 of them. It came with all the tools and stuff that you needed to make it. We drilled holes in the bin, they fit in, they come with all the fitments inside it. Open it up. We bought them type of bins because they lock, and that's them from the inside. So the chickens put their heads in and can feed out of it. It just stops all the birds that come and sit in this tree and come and eat all the food from the chickens, and it only gives the chickens what they need, but it lasts for ages. So if we're ever away for the weekend or something like that and we have people looking after them, they only have to check they're okay. They don't have to worry about them running out of food. The other thing we got, and I won't disturb the ducks now because they're over there drinking from me, was another bin, and we bought these little fittings. These are automatic waterers, so once the water level drops in it, when it lifts up, more water comes in until you're filling up. So anytime it gets light, the water then gets that in, it fills back up, and they've got plenty to drink from. It holds quite a bit, so there's the water inside. You can see the water level in there. Max is going to fill it up with the hose now, but it lasts for a week or two. So we know they've always got fresh water. The other thing, but we're not happy with, so we've ordered a new one, and this one's going back, was an automatic door. So the original hole that we had was too big for it. So what we decided to do was use the door itself, and we cut a hole in the door, which we've ended up having to put back on. And then this is supposed to be solar activated, so it runs on batteries, and the door is meant to lift up and come down when the sun's out. For some reason the batteries don't seem to last in it. We've tried all different types of batteries, so I think there's a fault with this. We contacted the manufacturer and we're sending it back, and we've got a new one coming out to us. Once that comes, then we can screw this door shut, and they will just rely on an automatic door, and that will open and close when the sun goes up and down. So if we ever go away, then the chickens get let in and out on their own. They've got enough food to last them, enough water to last them, and then whoever's minding the farm for us can just come down and check on them, but there's no specific time they have to be here. They have to be in when the sun comes up to let them out, or have to come back over the night time to make sure the chickens are locked up overnight. And that's that. So we're going to mix the food, fill the buckets up, and then get back to the garden. Is that another one sticking out there, look?
No,
What's that then?
grass.
No, the one next to it.
Oh yeah.
So our first garlic harvest from the garlic heart. We've got some little ones, only a few little ones like that. Most of them are big cloves of garlic like this, which I'm really pleased with. We planted 60 bulbs, 60 teeth, garlic teeth I think they're called, and we've turned out with about 56 bulbs. Some of them we broke,
Like this one.
like that one, and we had 3 little ones like this that I don't think got watered properly, so which is the reason they didn't grow, because they weren't bad irrigation pipes. Those that were, however, turned out like that, so I'm really pleased with them. There've been no vampires in our house tonight because it's basically going to stink. But we're going to let them dry for a few days, then give them a haircut, and then pack them together. But that'll last us the whole year, won't it?
Whole year, yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of garlic for us. So yeah, really chuffed. First garlic harvest. While we're in the agriculture shop, we got more courgettes to fill this row up here. Hopefully then we'll have them ready at different times. Lettuce, because we always need more lettuce. And then
Well, she thinks we always need more lettuce.
well, I think, yeah, we've got chickens, so we're not going to eat it all, but the chickens will definitely eat it, and it's cheaper than going to buy it. And then every last strawberry plant you've had, now we've tried strawberries in the last video, which you didn't get to see, and we've tried them before that as well. Every time we've tried strawberries, they failed.
But now they're going in the ground.
Yeah, so now we're going to plant them in the ground instead of in a pot with irrigation, and we're going to try and cover them up in a row somewhere as well, and see if we can manage to get them going or not. And Diego's in the background desperate to get out because he can see us doing something. So let's plant these in. Don't know whether you can hear that noise in the background. Not the bird noise, the other noise. It seems to be coming from over that way, and the same noise is also coming over that way, which is why we keep going off camera all the time. Tell them why, Mags.
Because I'm terrified of frogs, and it's all okay if it's a cricket, but if it's a frog, then Steve's going to be a lonely gardener.
And now I've moved away. I said to her, I think it's a cricket or something like that. I don't think it's a frog.
But given our track record of having now 2 frogs in Spain, where it's roasting hot and they've got no place in living, it's very likely to be a frog.
But it's over there, so we're okay. She's over there. Anyway, strawberries are in, the courgettes are in, we've got lettuce to put in, but we need to clear the row to put them in. So I think that's it for today. And we're going to leave it there.
Yeah, we're going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check your little notification button because we've had a couple of messages to say they're off. And we'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.